So, my name's Erin. Uh, Recently I've been listening to a lot of conspiracy theory radio. I don't know if you heard about the show called Ground Zero. Really interesting, fascinating stuff. And I got to thinking, I got a lot of stuff I want to say about stuff like that too. So, I'm going to make a blog, video blog, whatever. Um, I have a lot of experiences. I'm not going to claim to know everything, obviously. But I mean, there's things that I do know from experience. And if there's something you want to correct me on, please do. I am more than accommodating to criticisms. And I mean, I guess, kind of want to get some stuff out there and maybe throw some more concepts back at me because I'm doing this more to learn from anybody who wants to listen. I like the idea of throwing interesting theories and concepts back and forth, and I think that's how we learn. That's how we grow, and I want to learn something. So please, I'm gonna tell you what I know, and let's make this a back and forth thing. Um, uh, Recently somebody had asked me about God and my concept on it, and as far as God goes, it's like I think he does exist. But see, this is my whole idea on that is from my experience, demons and bad things, they all draw power from when you say their name. So like a demon says their you say their a demon's name over and over again, that creates or that gives that demon so much power over you. Essentially give it power, you know. That's essentially what I know about demons. And then I feel like in relation to God and all that, I feel like the fact that we didn't, I'm not gonna say that we made God, but I mean at the same time, I feel like God is like our thought process and how we can like we give God his power. Like all of us, or there's so many people who believe so great and so much in God, that God is this great positive entity, and he does exist. He does exist because we make him exist. And you fight me to the teeth on that. Cat, go away. Sorry. And I not playing. So God to me does exist. And I don't know. That's just my theory. And then gonna try and make these videos under 10 minutes. Go away. Sorry. um so expanding on that, let's say Jesus exists, God exists, all that I believe does exist. I believe wholeheartedly there's a heaven and a hell. That might be another episode that I do, because as far as ghosts and experiences like that, I have quite a few stories for you for that stuff. But I mean, when I've done the things that I've done with spirits and stuff like that, I have experienced spirits telling me about a good side and a bad side. And as far as that's okay, I got some time, so maybe I'll just explain in a summary thing. And if you guys have questions or you want to tell me I'm wrong, or go ahead. But I mean, when I was in early college, I probably look like I'm from college now. When I was earlier in college, I experimented with some friends with Ouija boards, and that was a bad idea. It was a very bad idea. But the experience had started with me and my friend, or one of my friends had passed away in early high school, and then early college we ended up messing around with a Ouija board, and there's so much to this story though. It's not gonna be 10 minutes long. Um, Long story short, we started messing around with the Ouija board because there was a spirit that was bothering my friend, and we kept on going back to talk to this person, and eventually this person changed personas, and we realized not so quickly that the the person we were talking to was no longer that person. It was actually a demon, and it had been learning from us going in and out of the Ouija board and not necessarily doing things the correct way, and it was just freaky experience, and it but it like taught me a lot about my own spirituality. I mean, I probably messed with some stuff I probably shouldn't have, but also I learned a lot from doing things I shouldn't have. So maybe I can prevent some of you guys from doing some stupid stuff with Ouija boards. Please don't. Um, that being said, I went ahead and I had another friend who was very into um, spirit stuff. I guess I'll say, I don't really know what to call it. Um, and we ended up creating a circle. Those who don't know what a circle is, it's like having four people who represent the four: north, south, east, west, whichever. And 10 minutes gonna go by fast. Okay, I'm just gonna say probably be 15 minutes long. Um, so the north, south, east, west, I had a circle. Um, they where they could communicate, I guess I could say. They could communicate better than I could. And I could only communicate if I was touching the Ouija board, which stupid, so stupid. But then I would talk to a spirit, and I would use the Ouija board, and then eventually using the Ouija board, I before the spirit would even spell out the word that they were about to spell, I would say the word. So I would like it was weird because like I just kept on doing stuff like that, and like it would spell out stuff, and then all of a sudden um the sentence was fully in my head. So like it eventually got to a point where I didn't need the Ouija board, and it's true what they say about that kind of stuff too. Though is it's a muscle that you you don't if you don't use it you don't have it. Like if you flex it, you get stronger. It's that kind of thing, and it's really fascinating to me because like God, I feel like I'm saying so much stuff. I didn't want to do all this. I'm sorry. Um, but it's a muscle. I forgot where I was going with all this stuff. Um, so Ouija boards are bad. Yes. And this is me explaining my experiences, I suppose. Okay, so eventually doing all that, so now because I did that for so long, I can somewhat communicate with spirits. I'm not gonna say I'm a professional or I know what I'm doing or anything like that. I don't think anything is like that. But I mean, it's been 8 years since I was doing all that stuff, and truth be told, I can feel energies that I can feel spirits, and I get messages from people who have passed that just kind of come, and it's different. It's a weird experience. I mean, people sit there and they're like, well, why do you, how can you what's it like being able to do all that? And it's I can kind of turn it on and off too though, cuz like if I don't want to pay attention to it, I don't pay attention to it. But if I want to pay attention to it, I'll pay attention to it. But then again, sometimes something's going, hey, pay attention to me. So I'm like, all right, and I give my attention. But I mean, as far as like how it feels, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like I'll be sitting here on my computer and I'll feel an energy walk into the room, and it's not like I have to look at it because I know I can't necessarily see it. I get pictures sometimes, but I mean I can't see the energy. I can feel it. It's like sitting here on the computer or whatever, and then somebody walks in the room. You don't have to look at them to know that they're there. It's just there, you know. Kind of how it feels, you know. So, I mean, I like talking about this stuff. It's a good time for me. Makes me feel less crazy if I get some communication back and forth, you know what I mean? That's what I'm kind of looking for. Uh, so I'm starting this blog, and I hope to hear from you guys and give me some feedback, maybe on what I just said. I'm going to try and cut this off so it's not super, super long, and people aren't like, okay, is she ever going to stop babbling about nothing? I'm not babbling about nothing. My thoughts are not organized, but I'm going to work on that. Next time I talk, I'll probably try and talk about, talk about my first supernatural experience, and let me know what you think. Send me some questions. Maybe I'll answer some questions, and maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this next week. I'm still trying to figure it out, but yeah, hit me back with some feedback. New channel, Eerie Erin. Let's get eerie with this shit.